I
There
think
we
we're
go,
live.
live.
All right, sweet. Anyway, well, let me introduce you there, Seth, because you did one hell of a favor with that video. That was hilarious. But for those of you, I plug Seth. That's about the only way my audience knows about you is as a sponsor for the podcast. But you also did this video that I put up on the. How many hits does that thing have? Like the artwork that you do, it's a shame you don't have more traffic.
I think it's got a few thousand views and mostly from you. I haven't really promoted it very much. Um, but yeah, it's got a few thousand views at this point.
Okay, but where'd you learn to do that cartoon stuff? I mean, is that just a software? Or is that self-taught, or did you go to like animation school or what?
I went to school a long time ago, which is why I share a lot of the beliefs that you have about college. But actually, the cartoons you saw there is from a very easy to use animation program called Video. Uh, Actually, I've forgotten the name of it. I can get that to you, but
See, it looks like
it's an
magic to me,
online.
like some new software or some kind of new technology from aliens. And you're like, oh yeah, it's just this little thing that I picked up, and downloaded. So I was just impressed. That's all.
Yeah, cool, man. No, it's impressive. I mean, honestly, what I did is basically what I do when there's so many technologies out there to do stuff for us. So I could have hired a guy, but I basically saw that there's this software has a lot of these pre-made templates. And so I did have to modify the templates for my particular idea, but they come with the characters and you can choose all the different postures the characters are in. There was like, this is what I thought was so funny. They had graduation, they had students in graduation outfits,
Hmm.
and then you could make them puke. So I didn't even need to make it show up at the end where he says your name and then the kid's puking. I thought
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, all right, it's just but I said, let's see if we can get the students looking like sad and upset. And there's ones where they're on their knees, and I was like, dude, I could do a lot with this. But it takes a little bit of time, and I did it for you specifically because I had promised you a review like 3 years ago. And I thought, all right, I'm going to do something special here because I usually try to be more, keep my word more than that.
Well, I don't feel so bad for dragging my ass for the 6 months I've been trying to get you on the show and everything and do you a solid. So, but yeah, man, it's just, well, I mean, and let's use this to kind of lead into, okay, so for the past 3 years, it wasn't like you were sitting there with your thumb up your ass. I mean, you stumbled onto something. That's why you sponsor on the show. Why don't you just tell everybody who you are, what you do? Because all they know about you is indemandcareers.com. They don't know the journey, precisely what you're selling. I'd probably do a horrible job selling it, especially in the 30-second soundbite I'm allowed. But just explain who you are, why you're here, and that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, yeah, I did not spend 3 years with my thumb up my butt, although it might be enjoyable for some people. I was like, one of the reasons that I was into, your broadcast, yes, is your attitude about college, your book Worthless. I went to NYU for film many years ago, and it took me about a decade to realize what a ripoff, what a waste of my time and money it had been. So I was left like a lot of art school grads wondering, what the hell do I do? I'm still pursuing film projects, but I need to make money every day. And that's how I stumbled into digital marketing by accident in 2010. I was unemployed. I didn't have any clue what I was doing with my life. And I went to some seminar and I got this idea. Somebody, sort of said, hey, you can sell things on the internet. And then I sort of started using Google for things other than looking for, porn or funny videos. And I was like, holy cow, there's all these things I can learn about how to build websites and sell things and make money online. And in about 6 months, I taught myself, a lot of the stuff you do, blogging and SEO and how to use paid ads to get traffic and selling affiliate products. And in the process of doing that, I was selling my own course on filmmaking. I have a site called Film School Secrets where I basically talk kids out of going to film school, wasting their money on film school, and I teach them what to do instead. And that was my real passion project. And I was really excited that I could, take my message, my knowledge, my experience, and monetize it, put it into a package, put it into a course where I would teach people step by step, like what I would do if I was 18 again, instead of going to school. I got to touch a lot of people's lives, help make a difference, and make some money. But at the time in 2010, I wasn't selling enough of that course to really support myself. So I had like a bad telemarketing job. And I remember seeing an ad in Craigslist for like an account technician. And I was like, I don't know what this is. But it said, if you like Google and Facebook, you know, apply. I applied with my resume, which had like nothing on it. You know, I just put in all the websites I built for myself. They contacted me immediately, interviewed me, loved me. The fact that I even understood these digital marketing concepts, search engine optimization, pay-per-click advertising, landing page optimization, all that stuff. They, you know, they were a company in Los Angeles, a city of 10 million people. They hadn't found anybody who even had a clue. So they hired me immediately. And I was, within a week, put in charge of about $1 million annual ad spend. Are you still there?
Yeah, no, I have my microphone on the mute, so I don't, because I cough a lot. I didn't want to interrupt you at all. That's all. Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening.
Wanted to check. I can't see you. So anyway, as I got onto this job, I realized, oh my, you know, I'm learning. I'm in charge of real businesses' money and their ad spend, and I only had a basic understanding of these things. Now I'm on the job. My boss, the VP, has more experience than me. He's teaching me on the job. I worked there for like maybe a year and a half. You know, it was like not a lot of money. I was making about $40,000 a year, but coming from being unemployed, it was awesome. And then I didn't even realize this, you know, one of my coworkers was like, yeah, you know, they underpay us here. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, look out, you know, look. Well, I looked and I realized like people were making 50, 60, 70 grand a year in these positions. And I didn't even have a LinkedIn profile. I put a LinkedIn profile together and immediately got a response from recruiters. It opened my eyes to this entire world of this particular career path. It's for people who, you know, I said, on the one hand, you can sell your own products and services to your own websites and through entrepreneurship, but there are actual day jobs, full-time benefits, 9-to-5 jobs out there that are so in demand and nobody knows about these jobs, which is managing advertising for other companies. So once I put myself out there on LinkedIn and I started, you know, I went to some recruiters and signed up, you know, that's when I got my first 6-figure opportunity. You know, I went up from making like 40 to 60, and then I was hired at this place for 75. They, you know, raised me to 80 bonuses, and I'm making like 6 figures 3 years into doing this. And it's, you know, not a skill that I went to school for or anything. There's just, there's this huge demand, and it's honestly because of the schools. You know, all these marketing majors come out of school. No, you know, they're learning theory. They're learning crap that was maybe relevant in the 80s or the 90s. They don't even know how to set up an AdWords account. So, you know, the agencies, they need people who have these skills, not people who have theory or a degree. So, you know, I have my own client base. I have, you know, I sell the course like you've seen. I do a lot of, you know, different things. The reason I put this course together, indemandcareer.com, is because basically I keep getting hit up by recruiters like every week. It's like Disney wants to hire me, or this company in LA, or this company in, you know, I'm in the middle of I was in Tennessee last year, and I was still getting hit up by people because I was like, I'm in the middle of like Franklin, Tennessee. These recruiters, they're not finding people that have the search engine management skills anywhere in Tennessee. You know, there's just, you can't, if people can't find people with these skills in LA, they're definitely not finding them in the middle of the country. So I looked up and I said, you know, this is different than having like a hot stock tip or something. I know about this field that's in demand, and nobody's trained in how to get a job in this field. And everybody's suffering because the recruiters are desperate to find people. The employers are desperate to find people. And every day on CNN, I see these stupid articles, you know, college graduates working at Starbucks. And I'm like, that's a whole other conversation, but why aren't these stupid freaking colleges actually teaching people about jobs that are in demand? So I said, I couldn't even take all these jobs if I wanted to. I can't multiply myself and take, you know, $80,000 or $90,000 a year jobs. I don't even want one day job. What I'd like to do is show other people how they can get into this field, so that if they work the plan that I outlined, they could eventually, you know, within a year, you can really be making $60,000 a year and then build up from there.
So it's kind of analogous to say like a gold rush. Like you're only one man, you can only mine one claim, but you're saying like, I got a better idea. I'm going to sell the panning equipment, the gold mining equipment to all the gold miners. I mean, you might have a couple of your select clients that you go and cherry pick, but there's still money to be made selling the equipment and the tools for these people to capitalize on it, is what you're saying.
Well, from my end, yes. I mean, that's from my point of view. Yes, there's money for me to make, but selling the training, But you know, what I pride myself on is that this isn't one of those like get rich quick type trainings where like, you know, 100 people fail and one person succeeds. Lots of students are getting interviews. Lots of students are getting jobs. These jobs are, you can go on LinkedIn and see that these jobs exist, and they're real opportunities.
Well, I think especially you and Matt Tran, because did you read Matt's new book coming out? Well, it's out already, but have you read it?
I haven't read it. No,
Yeah.
I
Well,
know it came out.
basically he's, and this, it's not a coincidence that he interviewed you, because he's kind of in the special niche market of the labor market in IT, but not too unlike what you're talking about here. These colleges just, they're out of touch, they're out of tune, and they're behind the evolutionary curve of the rest of the economy. And so, yeah, okay, like you're saying, okay, marketing theory really hasn't changed much since 1980. And these kids are coming in with crap that could have been taught to them from a book written in 1984 by a marketing professor, but that's not the skills they're looking for. And so you're coming in where the colleges are failing. I mean, how long does it take to go through your program to quote graduate or just get the skills?
I say, you know, people can pay, so it can take a month. I had one student, Justin. So if you're a really bright, driven person, like I have this one student, Justin, who's very bright. He did it in 2 weeks, and he worked really hard. And then within, you know, after finishing the course, he got his first, you know, he did something very interesting when he applied. He set out like sample strategies for SEO on these websites. And he got, you know, he sent out his resume or an application for, I think, 3 or 5 companies. He got 3 callbacks, and he got a job within a week. So that's awesome. That doesn't happen that fast with everybody, but the stuff you have to learn, like I'm giving you basically what I do with the program is I say, look, I'm cutting through the crap. I don't want you to, you know, like when you go to college, you take get one of these degrees that nobody cares about. You're going to waste, you know, 6 months on electives or supporting, you know, mathematics or crap.
Yeah, all that bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just teach people like this is what you need to impress the hiring person and to have the basic competency. The cool thing about the field is that the bar is low because there's a lack of skilled workers. It means that, hey, they're going to say, I say it's like a dating profile where, you know, the woman is like, I want a man who's 6'4" with a chiseled chin and chiseled abs, and he's smart and loves his mom and all these things. But then she's going to settle for the, you know, that's not a real guy. So these employers will be like, I want someone with 5 years experience and this, and this, but they're not getting that. So you show up and I show you, this is how you look hot to the employer. You know, this is the training that you need. This is the language you need to use. This is the skills you need to have. And even if you don't have everything that's on their checklist, you know, you go to LinkedIn and you see this thing. It's like, you'll see a listing that's been up for like 40 days. Like they're not finding anybody, you know, and the people that do apply, and I know this because I've helped people hire in this field, you get terrible resumes, or people, you know, you put up search engine management or SEO or PPC, people don't know what that means. So you get salespeople, you get people who've done like customer service, which is, you know, they're very nice people. They're eager to please, but they don't have the skills. So if you show up with, you know, said learning how to manage an AdWords account, even in some cases, even just understanding what they're talking about, you can, you know, be considered for the job. At the very least, you could get an internship or build a relationship with an agency. It's all very actionable and it's all very fast. So yeah, somebody who's very, you know, who has the time to devote to it, it's about 10 hours or 11 hours of training. You can get through it in a couple of weeks. I have some people, I charge monthly. So basically, you know, if you look at competitive programs, like either A, you're going to get a master's degree from Full Sail that nobody cares about. It's going to cost you 50 grand, which I think is criminal. Or there are some online training courses, but they're also expensive. They can be $300 or $400 per component. So paid traffic, organic traffic, social media, landing page optimization. Like there's one place called Market Motive. They'll charge $400 per. So you'll end up paying, you know, $800 or $1,500. And if you want support, it's an extra $2,000 per course. My thing is $97 a month. I know it sounds like a sales pitch, but I just wanted to make it cheap enough where people could get access to it and I could still make a profit that was comfortable. And I give people support in the forum. So basically, there's some people that come in and get out within a month. They're free to do that. Some people stay for 5 months because they just want to stay in, and so they keep having access to the material and keep getting support from me. It's up to the individual person.
Well, and it's a fraction. Yeah, and this is why I had it. This is not a. I know a lot of people. Oh, is this an infomercial? No, I go out and I search for, this could really help my clientele, because we got predominantly people under 40, a lot of millennials, a lot of younger people. I mean, it's almost like, well, why would you even bother going to college? For $97 a month. I mean, your books are going to cost more in the first tuition or first quarter of tuition than it would be. I mean, in other words, like, what do you got to lose? And then if I could be crazy, call me crazy. You don't have to commute for these positions, right?
I'm sorry, what?
You don't have to commute. I mean, this is all done from home, like on your laptop. I mean, maybe you got to go in for a meeting or something like that. Well, but this is largely location independence.
To clarify, so the training is online. These jobs, the jobs that are in such high demand, those are real jobs. Those are like go to an office kind of jobs.
Oh, okay. All right.
I get that question a lot because it does sound, people are like, wow, you can work from home, make all this money. I was like, no. Once you build up experience and you work for some agencies for a few years, then you can look for some of the telecommute type jobs or remote positions. There are some agencies where you can work completely remotely, which is like a dream come true for a lot of people. The other thing you can do is freelance and build your own clientele. I have one student who's an older gentleman. I think he's about 50, who is a sales guy. He used to sell, he did huge deals in the oil business, and then he was laid off. So he knows sales. You take his sales skill set and apply it to selling people, small businesses help with their websites and online, making money from their websites. It's an easier sale than most other products. And then you can get your own clients and charge them, $500, $1,000 a month, and you work at your own schedule. I have clients like that. It's very nice, because in that case, you can just, use your laptop, go to Starbucks and, work on their account and get your check every month. But I tell people, because most college kids who come to me don't have sales skills. So I'm just trying to get them to the point where they could get a day job. But if someone already has the sales skills, then this is very easy to sell. I mean, I was just at a meeting, I meet people at Starbucks. I meet people in public and just chat with them about, oh, you own a small business. And I just mention, oh, I work in digital marketing. And people's first thing is like, oh, you can help me get more traffic to my website? I'm like, yeah. I don't have to pitch them. I don't have to be like the insurance salesman that's like, you really should consider life insurance. Come to you. And I'm actually going to be adding some more training on that side of it to people. But I have to be clear to people because it is online training. This is not primarily work from home or remote. This is for, office, jobs at agencies. But the cool thing about these companies is that these agencies, technically, if you work for an agency, these are young companies. These are like you all know the stereotypes about Google, where it's like they got the ball pit and all the fun stuff, and
sure,
it's like
hammocks and basketball and your cheerleaders on Friday, whatever. Yeah.
Absolutely. These companies are like that. I was in Nashville. There's one called Fox Fuel Creative. It's like they won all these awards. They got this real dynamic guy leading it. He's probably like 32. They were just expanding, and they were adding a wet bar to the office. Awesome. These companies are like it's for people. You lock into your computer. You're on your computer a lot, but then you get to go relax and play ping pong or something like that. So it's a younger culture. It's not that stuffy like corporate traditional crap. If you're working at one of these agencies, so there's a lot of opportunities. If I can just help people get their foot in the door, what happens is they usually get mentorship from the people who have worked in the field longer, and then they can just build upward.
Well, but it's almost a no-brainer. I mean, even if it isn't work from home, what I'm amazed at is the speed at which you can get a employable skill. I mean, certainly there's no guarantee of landing a job either, but it's going to be a hell of a lot better than if you spent 6 years getting your master's in English. And it's solely because this is the part of the economy that's booming. I mean, it's the Wild West. And all you got to do, in other words, basically it's go west, young man, go west. And you're basically handing the map to them. But instead of getting shot at by bandits and Indians and diphtheria or whatever has plagued the settlers out. I mean, there's actual jobs to be had, and it's going to be a lot more lucrative or what's the word, a fertile soil to go and land a job in this field than it is to go where millions of lemmings are going every year to get their liberal arts and humanities degree and then just sit there and then wonder, blame it on whatever, politicians, the economy, George Bush. The people that are going to listen to you are really going to sidestep a landmine. And what's the cost? I mean, so what? Let's say some of your longer clients are what, 5 months, you say?
Yeah, 5 or 6. Maybe.
Okay, so 5-6 months. That's 1/8 the time you're going to spend going to college, and certainly 1/1000th a lot of times of what the cost of college is going to be. I mean, it's almost like, yeah, what do you got nothing to lose.
Yeah, there's really nothing. I mean, yeah. I mean,
it's that simple.
You said it best. I mean, it's really and it's funny because I get a lot of what I get some people in high school, but a lot of people who finish college and they're in the exact position you said. They're clueless. They don't know what to do, or they're in a job they hate, or they can't find a job. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to keep it priced low. I wanted to put them in a position where they don't have to take out more freaking loans. I want to be like, listen, you can pay for this. And if I do get people sometimes that are like, oh, I'm poor, I can't afford it. I'm like, listen, if you can't afford $97 to train yourself in this, then you really need to save up some money.
Yeah, you got some other major financial issues going on if you can't do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but everybody, honestly, my fear as a marketer, because I've done high ticket coaching, personalized coaching, and typically to get personal attention from me is like, I have a $4,000 film coaching program I do, which is a fraction of the cost of film school. Mm-hmm. But, I was concerned at that price point, I would get people that were, not really motivated, because sometimes if you undercharge, that's what happens. That's not what happened, man. All the people in the program are awesome. I have great students. They're very motivated. They're great. They can understand the value. They're taking action. Every time I get an email that says somebody's got an interview, or even if it's a phone interview, I'm very excited for them, and I'm available to help them, prepare for the interview.
Do they take classes together, or is it all individual? I mean, is there any kind of forum or anything like that, or what?
Yeah, there's a forum. So that's how I'm able to support multiple students, to keep, how do I sort of multiply myself without overextending myself? So I have it's on a WordPress site, and all the content and the video and the training is protected. Once you join, you get access to the videos and the forum. And in the forum, you can ask me anything you want. So, and it's cool because it's a public thread, which means, and a lot of times, so one person will ask a question and other people have the same question, so they get to see the answer. And I've only had the course out for a few months, but I'm really excited. As time goes on, there's more and more wealth of knowledge in the forum. But that's really, one of the things I say, you can see in the sales video, is that I make myself as available to a student as they want to be proactive. So, I give them sample account structure spreadsheets. If they start their own AdWords account, I will go in and evaluate it for them. Depends on how much action they want to take. So, I'm really available to help them in a way that, to get access to somebody with my skill set, they would either have to, go pay a college or be already working at one of these companies. So, I've and I enjoy it when I get questions from the students, because I really want to see them be successful.
Well, and you also take individual clients as well outside of your students, right?
Oh, you mean for marketing clients?
Right. Yeah. Regular marketing clients.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely.
Cool.
I've kind of dialed that down because I am finally able to pursue my first passion, which is film. Which, because of marketing, honestly, the film business is really a marketing business. And now I'm actually back in LA because I'm producing a comedy with a buddy of mine. So that's become my primary focus. But I do also have, other marketing clients.
See, sure. You're leaving the free market high and dry. You're in demand. You're like, no, I'm going to be a true artist, and I'm going to go and do my thing. And now everybody's like, shit, Seth is gone. Damn it. See, now that's only going to feed. It's just like girls. You're gonna limit your supply, and that's going to drive up your price. And now you're going to have to be, I only bill out at $10,000 an hour, no less. No, I have to go film my comedy. All right. I'll work for a $2.5 million 3-week contract. It's
absolutely. The less available you are, the more you definitely, I love negotiating now, especially, I learned negotiating before I even had something that I could leverage. But when you have the skill set, you can leverage it. But just to make a point about art and film and all that stuff, the film that I'm making is not an art film. It's a mainstream comedy. And I'm not pitching it. We have investors. Our goal is to make money. It's just any other product or commodity. And what I try to teach my students in the film course or on the film site is that you're not gonna, the film festivals are garbage. Short films are garbage. Make a feature because that's what people buy. It's a product. You know, would you ever pay $10 for a short film? No. Would you ever not expect to pay $10 to go see a real movie? You always will. You know, you don't go to the cinema or go on iTunes and expect to get shit for free. So nowadays the entire model of distribution has changed, and most filmmakers are still very clueless about marketing. So our project, which is I can't say too much about it in a public venue here because we're kind of keeping the plot under wraps.
Yeah, don't ruin the plot. Yeah, keep the powder dry.
But just half the budget's for marketing, and that's really, I think, where we're, it's like if Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise have to pimp their movie, then your little indie movie definitely needs to be pimped out. And because a lot of filmmakers are delusional. They think I'm going to make my vision, I'm going to make my art, it's going to be beautiful, and somehow I'm either going to get some deal at Sundance or people are just going to want to see it, and that's very delusional. We are like, here's how many downloads we're going to need to break even. Here's how many downloads we're going to need to double the profit of the investors. But the cool thing about a movie is that ultimately I look at it like a digital property that has royalties in perpetuity. And I love that word.
Yeah, absolutely. That's an asset, income generating asset right there.
Yeah. So I definitely think the two things came together. I was like, I just wanted to be an artist, and I was a starving artist, and I was a marketer. And now I can kind of bring the two together. And I do, like I said, I love teaching too, because frankly, I'm not like that passionate about the marketing. I really do enjoy teaching and helping people. So if I could help other people get jobs in this field, I'd much rather do that than, work at a 9-to-5 myself. But people who get these jobs, like Justin, these are the good jobs. This isn't like, I'm grinding it out. Oh God, when's the weekend? These are jobs where people are very engaged, and the people who are in this field really do love it.
Cool.
So I love telling people about it.
Well, why don't give us your site? I mean, you have indemandscareer.com. Do you have a different site aside from that one, or is that the flagship site that people should go to?
Yeah, indemandcareer.com is the main site, and that's where you can get the free mini course where I explain more about this. But that's really that for this, especially. That's my main course. I don't really have like I've always wanted to do a blog like you have, and I just kind of never really focused on that.
There's only so much time in the day. That's the problem.
Yeah. I found I like doing these targeted solutions is really how I look at it. Like my other site is called filmschoolsecrets.com. That's for if anybody here happens to be into filmmaking or want to have a film career. But I've done niche sites that are very targeted towards a topic versus a place where honestly I became too lazy for blogging. I think it's cool that you produce so much content. I like to produce something and then kind of let it. Now it's out there. It's the course is out there, and I can promote it, or I can have other people promote it and share it. But that's the main site, indemandcareer.com. And honestly, I have other stuff I do, but for your audience, when I saw and I said I read your book Worthless, and I thought, it seems like these would be the people. These are the people I want to talk to. You and Matt Tran and myself. I think we speak to people who have kind of get it. You've already drank the Kool-Aid, or maybe you've gone through the system or school, and now you're like, okay, I need some non-bullshit advice. So I think you specialize in that. I really thought, I said that with Worthless. I thought when you talk, I know you sound like a real wise ass when you talk, but
because I am a wise ass. I'm not a nice guy, not by the slightest.
No, you're an asshole.
Yeah,
you said you're asshole consultant, but you put more care into that book, the Worthless book, than a lot of these fucking teachers or guidance counselors who won't take the time to be honest with these kids. And I respect that. So I was like, I know you say you're an asshole, and you are, but you got heart.
Yeah. So, let's not ruin my reputation here.
Not ruin my reputation. Right? No, you're like, fuck off.
All right. Well, listen.
No, I thought. Listen, it takes. Yeah.
I think I've got some feedback here, but I did want to thank you. Did you have anything else you want to tell the audience?
Just I just want to thank you for having me on the show. And just, there's a lot of options out there if you just, like explore online and think about skills that employers are going to want. And, definitely if you go to indemandcareer.com and if you sign up for the course, I actually have my LinkedIn profile in there. And you can contact me on LinkedIn or email me and ask me any questions you might have.
Cool. Well, I thank you very much, because I know it's kind of like a win-win-win. I know this is an advertisement and everything, but my gosh, the Venn diagramming nearly overlaps two circles perfectly, for my readership and the younger guys and gals out there that are, desperately looking for a job. And if they got the hustle and the work ethic, it sounds like this is great. When is your movie or show or whatever come out?
We're still in the pre-production at this point, so we're looking to be in production in the winter. So it's not going to be till next year.
All right, so we're in no rush on that.
Right, but believe me, I'll be pimping it.
Okay, yeah, no, totally.
So
let me know. I'd love to see what it looks like.
Absolutely, man.
Cool. All right, well, thanks for being on the show, Seth. I really appreciate it. All right.
All right, thanks for having me, Aaron.
All right, we'll see you.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.